Hello, Sariah Bastian here, owner and creator of Beyond Breath. And today I have with me one of my clients who has just completed the 8 modules inside of Beyond Breath. So Grace, welcome today. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so very much for having me.
I love it. And as always, when I do these testimonials, I ask my clients if they want their pictures shown, and we totally hold them with reverence and respect and confidentiality. So Grace has decided to not show her picture, but she is all right with her name. So Grace, we're going to hop into this and let you share with our audience what your experience has been so far inside of Beyond Breath. So the first question I want to ask you today is, what was the main problem you were experiencing before Beyond Breath?
Yeah, so the main problems that I was experiencing was I just didn't recognize myself anymore. I would look at myself in the mirror, and I just didn't know who I was staring at anymore. I felt out of control. I felt powerless. I used to be somebody who was so outgoing, so confident. I loved life. My laugh was the biggest laugh in the room. And I went from that person to somebody who was lost, who felt hopeless. At certain points, I felt suicidal. I was bedbound, and I was living in constant fear. I suffered with severe anxiety. I was raging at my husband, at my kids, and I felt completely and utterly addicted to my husband's phone, his whereabouts, what he was thinking, what he was doing, and I was literally driving myself crazy.
Yeah, totally. How long had you been dealing with this at the point before you found Beyond Breath?
So it had been about 14 months. 14 months I'd stopped taking care of myself. I stopped taking care of my kids. I have 4 children, and they were like kids lost out at sea. They just couldn't see their mum anymore. I was literally hiding in fear for 14 months.
Yeah. What work in that 14 months had you done to try to fix it?
So straight away I said we need to get into couples therapy. We both have our own therapists as well. I was sometimes one therapy session a week just wasn't enough for me. I was asking for 2 sessions a week. I had subscribed to every single podcast I could find. I was reading blogs. I read so many books. I haven't read this many books before in my lifetime, and I've got a degree. So I was reading and reading anything I could get my hands on to fix myself and this problem. I was overeating. I was drinking to numb my feelings, the pain, and I nearly moved out of the house on 3 occasions, which was crazy because I was desperate to save my marriage. Yet I just felt so suffocated that I needed to run away. I needed to get out and then come back again, and out and back again.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So what has been the highlight for you since joining Beyond Breath?
The biggest highlight for me is just getting my power back. I can't explain how I was just constantly looking at my husband and focusing all of my energy on my husband, on his healing, and not even looking at myself. I've totally shifted my focus. I feel so much more in control. I have not looked at his phone or checked Find My Phone or Life 360 in months. I'm beginning to appreciate all the hard work that he's doing, because when you're in that state of mind, you don't notice anything. You're just in fight or flight mode. And my husband has been trying to heal himself, and he's been doing his very, very best to work at himself and to to hold me, to keep me safe again, right? And I've learned that the only person that can keep me safe is me.
That's right.
Is me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you say, with what you've learned in Beyond Breath, what is the one thing that has been the most transformative for you?
So this trauma that I have never experienced before in my life, I was able to get out of my head and inside of my body. And to me, that was just a concept. All the books that I'd read and all the podcasts I'd listened to around being present, being in your body. I'd read The Body Keeps the Score, all of these books, but I just didn't know how to apply it to myself. Yeah. And Beyond Breath was step by step, written so beautifully with such compassion and just so clear, and it was just so easy to follow, and just the amount of the wealth of advice and support that I'd got from Beyond Breath was just exactly what was missing for me all this time, that I now know that I can stand on my own 2 feet, because that's how that's how I should have been operating as a human being in the first place. Yeah. So now I'm able to trust myself again, and because I trust myself, I can communicate a lot better. I'm no longer reacting. I'm taking that pause, I'm taking that breath before I react to something, and it's coming out from love, as opposed to just acting out old ways of being or cycles that I've just been repeating for a very long time. It's just been incredible.
Yeah, I love it. I love that. What would you say to somebody who is on the fence about joining Beyond Breath?
Yeah, I would say jump off that fence and run towards Beyond Breath. This is not a therapy session or group therapy. It is a beautifully written program that that helps you take your power back without putting in the work yourself. You're not going to get what you want out of it. I think Beyond Breath helps you navigate your way out of this trauma, out of this fog, out of the anxiety, out of the fear, out of your head, for you to live again. I didn't know how to live. I genuinely didn't know how to live until I did this course. I live in the UK as well. I think you can tell. I don't know if you can tell, but I live in the UK, and I feel so connected to the participants on this course, that we have a beautiful community, because this is lonely. This is a lonely, scary place to be. And I feel so connected and so supported and so held by everybody. It's one of the best investments I've ever made. I mean, I've been speaking a lot about self-care to, my therapists and friends, and go on retreats, have a facial, have a massage. The amount of money that I've spent on self-care, is huge compared to what I spent on Beyond Breath. And I'm not joking. I'm getting a huge return on my investment here. And it's not just for my marriage, it is for my other relationships, my friendships, my family. It's just taught me so much. It's just, like I said, it's the part that's been missing from my healing journey.
I love it. It's so beautiful. And Grace, what's so amazing, and I've been saying this a lot this week, and it's just kind of there, is that all of our stories are different. For all of the women inside of Beyond Breath, no one of us has experienced the exact same thing with the backstory that we found ourselves in the spot, right? But the healing is found over and over and over again. And inside of our Beyond Breath community, it's spoken of almost on a daily basis, the small victories that are you living again. And it's just so beautiful to see that although the stories are different, our bodies all respond the same way, and that this healing of this trauma is possible. It truly, truly is. Learning how to live again is possible.
It is. It really is. Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. Thank you, Grace, for sharing this with us today. And for those of you listening to this, like if you relate to Grace on any level, if you have been stuck in the same spiral of trying to get out of this chaos and confusion, this fog, this rabbit hole of waiting for your husband to do the healing, it won't work until you do this work here. And whether or not your husband is working on reconciliation like Grace is, thank God he's doing his work. Some husbands choose not to, but that doesn't mean that this healing isn't for you, because you have to get to a place within yourself, do this healing so that you can make a decision to move on, or else you stay stuck in that paralyzed space for so long. So if this calls to you, reach out, watch my free webinar. The link is in my bio on my Instagram handle and profile, and then book a call with me. Let's talk. Let's see if this program is the missing piece, like it was for Grace and like it has been for so many others, to do this healing that is required for life to be lived again. So thank you again, Grace, for being here with me. And I love all of you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.